Hello.
Happy Wednesday, guys.
Yes, happy Wednesday, the week before Thanksgiving.
This month has gone by fast.
It really has. It really has. Well, thank you guys for popping in tonight. Tonight we actually have a decent show to reminisce a little bit about our recent cruise on the Utopia. There will be some vlogs happening here in the future, so keep an eye out for that. And we have a ship tour, so that's actually going to premiere this Friday. So if you guys want to pop in there, we can answer questions while we're doing a ship tour. And this one will be more in depth since we were actually on the ship versus the last couple that we've had where Mel's had to pop onto the Carnival ships in the travel agent site inspection.
Not like a highlight. It's more of a full-on, in-depth tour.
Yeah, we took like over half a day and went every single deck. So it is about 56 minutes long, but we hit almost everything we actually had access to. I think the only things we didn't hit, you have to excuse Mel too. She ended up getting a cold.
That was my souvenir from the cruise. I got a cold.
Yeah, but the only things that we really didn't get is like the suite lounge, the coastal kitchen, and the suite sun deck, because this time we didn't have a suite. But other than that, we hit everything. So before we end up getting into the house, let's welcome a few people in. So the first up in the chat was Cruise Nuts. Whoop, whoop. Thanks for coming by, Mike, and stopping by here. Next up, we have a Big Family Expedition. So again, thank you for stopping by. Oh, and I do see we've got Kevin here. So thanks for stopping by, Kevin. Sorry I missed your show last night at 9. I'm still feeling late nights and for the cruise and toga parties. Well, the 80s parties.
Yeah.
And just trying to get back on regular time. So I'll be honest, I was in bed by like 8 something, and so was Mel with her cold. So, but she is toughing it out here. She's toughing it out here. So.
Yep, I missed last week of work, so I cannot miss this week of work.
Yeah, and it's getting near the end of the month, so she's got a lot of stuff she's got to handle there.
Right. Anyway, let's get going on the.
Yeah. So let's get started. So we went on the Utopia of the Seas, and we specifically went on this one because number one, it's Royal's newest ship. Number two, it's the second largest ship in their fleet. And we really wanted to compare it against the Wonder of the Seas because we went on that last October. And although the cruise was okay in general, there were a few things here and there that just, it just didn't feel like a normal cruise to us. Some things that could have been better overall. So again, we wanted a fresh pair of eyes on this class of ship.
But tell them about the question of the day so we can start.
Oh, yeah. So I do have a question of the day there. It's basically asking about the cruise ships and, our mega ships like the Utopia, the future of the cruising industry. And should it be all, steams ahead on the bigger the better, or do you prefer the smaller intimate ships? Or is it more of a I don't care as long as I'm on a ship? So make sure you guys toss in what you feel like there, and we'll wrap that up at the end of our chat here today.
Oh, and one more thing. Since today's a short little segment, if you guys want to listen to us on Tinkerbell, we'll be with her on December
3rd.
3rd. And yes. We'll have a discussion with side-by-side comparison because she was also on the Utopia of the Seas.
Yes, she's been on it twice, and then we've been on it once. So we're going to compare and contrast our views, likes, opportunities, and things like that. Plus, we'll go into a lot more detail of the Royal Railway restaurant, which we actually did experience. Thanks for coming in, Scott McNeil. Whoop, whoop. So let's get started. I guess the best thing to start at is the beginning. Bazinga! No, really, we'll start with just embarkation, and I can tell you that this time around, and Port Canaveral, we've been out a lot. Let me preface it by saying we went out of Port Canaveral a lot. The first 2 times we went out of it underneath a royal ship. We're flying in. There was no problems. It was still with diamond and suite lounges and all that being separated and then boarding first. Then they changed it to where it felt like it didn't matter who you were, where you were, what kind of status you had or room you booked. Everyone was throwing a cattle car, and it was really sit down until we tell you you can get up kind of thing. So kind of turned us off of going out of Port Canaveral. But this last time, it looks like whatever they went from one extreme to the other, they found a really happy medium. We got there. There was no line anywhere.
Yes.
And we actually got there about an hour earlier than our technically arrival time. But they were like, no, come in.
Yeah, we got on the ship.
Yeah.
We literally stopped on the ship probably at 10:45.
Yeah. And we got in line maybe 10:30.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was that quick.
15 minutes max. And that was going through security. That was going through the passport checks to check in, then the secondary check-in, and then the walk just to get onto the ship. But I mean, it was a breeze, and we loved it.
Yeah, so as soon as we got on the ship, the first thing that we did is, because it was on the top of our list, we started booking our dining.
Yep.
And then as we're booking our dining through the app, because you have to be on the ship's Wi-Fi, we went down to the railroad place to talk to them about getting on the list to book, because this particular dining is so new. It was sold out months in advance. It's so popular. So we went down there and actually got on a waiting list, and we were second people in line.
Yes. And that's what we were worried about, because although the unlimited dining package is absolutely worth it in our case. You okay there? She's a trooper.
I'm sorry. The more I talk, the more I cough.
But as I was saying, we love the dining package, especially if there are sea days, especially if I can get it for a good deal. And so we ended up getting it for a really good deal. But the drawback is you can't pre-book anything. So yeah, you have to wait until you're on the ship and connected to their Wi-Fi. Then you can book everything. So I was booking the other things as we were standing in line and getting the Royal Railway, and we got on the waiting list. Another pro tip with that was, if you are willing to sit with other people, it gives you a better opportunity and a better shot of actually getting to be picked and get bumped up to the waiting list.
And the people we sat with were really cool. We met some new people from Pennsylvania, Connecticut. They were
Connecticut. I'm pretty sure is where
they're from up north. So they were really nice people.
Yeah.
And so overall, you want to talk overall?
Yeah, we can talk. Well, actually, let's before we move on to the next. There are a few other people that came in. So we've got Scott McNeil. I think I already said hello, but if not, welcome, sir. Looks like Kevin mentioned that, yeah, he did work as a DJ on a cruise ship with Celebrity, 1,400 passengers and 700 staff, but he'd love to go to larger ships to compare that experience. And then Mike's they love the smaller ship. It's more intimate and personal feeling. You know what? I would kind of lean towards that, because we did a 9-day New Year's cruise on the Grandeur, which we were concerned with it being a smaller ship, but the staff and the intimate setting actually did make it go, super fast. And we was like, wait, we've already been on here 9 days.
Yeah,
we find ourselves spending time in specialty restaurants or in the lounge with our favorite bartenders, just shooting the breeze.
We were a little bit more slower paced there, because it's not jam packed with everything you could fit on top of a cruise ship.
Yeah. Welcome in, Cruz Bolero. Thanks for stopping by.
But the overall feel, is that we got?
No, we're not caught up just
Okay,
yet.
sorry.
And then we
Okay.
got Hilda DC coming in. Thank you for popping in here. Yep, and make sure you hit your hashtag PKAT to share your link. So if you guys are not already connected, you definitely can connect up. And Hilda DC said they've never been on a cruise. Well, definitely, it's something to experience at least once for sure.
And speaking of that, Utopia is actually designed for people who are new to cruising because it has 4 days and 3 day itineraries, and it's just going to the Bahamas. So it's kind of getting your feet wet in cruising. So it's a good cruise to get on if you're looking to go on, try it out.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so moving on. I think we're pretty much caught up. Everyone's just saying hello to everybody. So yeah, keep that going. So yeah, overall, I would say for me, the Utopia was a night and day difference from the Wonder. I really, really enjoyed.
I didn't
Utopia.
have. Well, we had 2 different rooms too, so we can start rooms. On the Wonder, we had the balcony. On the Utopia, we went with interior guarantee, so we went with the cheapest.
And got the cheapest room as a result.
Yeah. So comparing rooms, I did not like the room, but it was by selection. But the interior room, it felt a little hot. I was okay being on the deck 9 that we were, and it was easy, close to the elevators, where we weren't too close where we hear the elevator. So I was okay with the location. For the interior, it was a decent size. The room just felt warm to us, and it took a long time to cool down. So that's one of my complaints about the room.
Yeah. I think the only other big one was the bathroom. The shower, although the shower is bigger, so for robust gentlemen such as myself,
it was great if you're in the shower. Great.
But they didn't account for the extra shower space with the bigger clamshell, if you will. That really wasn't accounted for in the exterior space. So you couldn't open the door all the way up. And forget about hanging stuff on the back of the door. Like Mel usually would put her makeup bags and stuff like that on the back of the door. With that there,
I couldn't.
We couldn't open it far enough. Mel couldn't even squeeze in based on how cramped it was with that door going in and out. So it was definitely a one butt bathroom.
Yeah.
In there.
I mean, for the size, it was fine. The bathroom, we dealt with it. But it was a little tight. It's like, if you're gonna make the shower bigger, why don't you make the bathroom a little bit bigger?
Yeah.
But
welcome in, Will G. Thanks for coming.
With that being said, every time we get an interior room, we always oversleep. So
yes.
And oversleep to me is like past 8 o'clock.
Yeah, usually we're up if we have a balcony room or a window room. We're usually up 6:30, 7 o'clock. But we were sleeping in. Yeah, we were sleeping in until 8:20, 8:30, just because it was so dark.
But we did that on purpose because it is a new ship. It was still expensive to go, so we wanted to go. We wanted to go cheaply, so we could just go. But we ended up buying the food package, and we also ended up getting the CocoCay
the Beach Club. Yeah, the Beach Club.
So we made up for it eventually with the money.
It's really it was supposed to be the cheapest cruise, and we were just not going to get anything, but they were actually running some really good specials, and I just couldn't pass it up.
Yeah, so overall, the room was okay. For entertainment and music, what would you give it?
I liked it overall. There was every show we went to, and that was regardless of it being the main show all in, which was actually really good. The ice skating, the Aqua Show, and some of the live music, because we spent a lot of time this time in the music hall with the live bands there. I liked all of it.
There was a good variety. I think there was a lot of good variety. It almost seemed like they themed a lot of the music around the 80s, which is targeting our age group.
Yeah.
So I guess they're doing a good thing because our age group is the one that's cruising the most right now, I guess.
Right.
And so, for example, what night did we go see the Jazz? It was
May have been. It was. I think it was the second night. So I think it was Bahamas, and we went to the Jazz that night.
So the music itself was, I mean, the singers and the band members were really great. It was just not our cup of tea of the songs. It's just they were older songs, but she sang them really well. We sat there for a good while just listening to it.
Yeah, it's so like 50s jazz.
It was a good variety.
But it was good. And they sung the 70s and the 80s. So I mean, they were really good. The group was really, really good.
Sorry guys, I'm trying not to cough on you.
Yep.
I'm probably going to get him sick though.
Probably. Let's hope not. So speaking of which, since we're speaking of 80s, just a note, not that we expected or anything like that, but we have two throwback thank yous. So if anybody does super chats or super stickers, we've got two different ones that we recorded in our 80s garb. Let's just say that when we were looking at the 80s party, we were under the impression it was a costume party, and we were the only ones that dressed up, but we own that.
Yeah, we were already out of the room and people saw us, so we pretty much owned it up.
But anyway, so yeah, if you want to see some of that before the vlog, we do have a couple of thank yous, and that's what we've got for any kind of super.
So for food's a big category for cruising.
Mm-hmm.
We did not go to the main dining or the market. I'm sorry, not Windjammer. I'm sorry, Marketplace is Carnival. We did not go to either one just because we had so many options. We just didn't have enough time. It was only a 4-day cruise.
Yeah.
So for breakfasts, we went to Johnny Rockets one morning.
Yeah. And that is free. So breakfast is free and included.
The second time we went to the Cafe Bistro.
Yes, the Cafe Promenade Bistro. Park Cafe.
Park Cafe
in Central Park.
So we went there. That was really great. We actually hung out there quite a bit this past cruise.
Yeah.
And then
welcome in, Cruising Koozies. Thanks for coming.
One morning we skipped breakfast and went straight to the beach club.
Yeah, because we overslept again. So we had the beach club actually had pastries and coffee, so that's what we ended up doing. Plus, we knew that there was going to be a big lunch, so we were okay with having just a small breakfast.
We went to the other breakfast. I know it wasn't.
I don't.
I'm drawing a
remember. We had Johnny Rocket breakfast, and that was good. That was great. Cruising Koozies, yeah. Think of it as the same style breakfast that you have if you go into the main dining room on sea days for breakfast. It's pretty much the same thing, made to order. And the thing that I really liked about that as well is they have a maple bacon milkshake that they do during the breakfast time. That's to die for. It was very good.
I don't remember the other breakfast, but we did. When we first got on the ship, we actually went to Mason Jar, which you can eat for breakfast. And we went as soon as we got on the ship, after we made our reservations, of course. We went over there and got to see the shuttle launch actually too.
Yep, surprisingly there were actually 2 launches that day.
Yeah,
which we were expecting just one. So we had one that was around noon, and then another one around 3 or so right before we left.
Yeah. So so food wise, like we said, we didn't go to any of the free places. We went because we had the specialty. We ended up hitting Mason Jar. We hit the Railroad.
We did the Giovanni's, and this one was Giovanni's Kitchen, not Giovanni's Table. So there are some similarities, but definitely some differences. The kitchen has a big pizza option too, where they make some thin crust pizza, and that's what we ended up getting: some caprese salad, some appetizers.
You could probably split the pizza. Yeah, it's like a 13-inch pizza.
12-inch. Don't give it the extra inch. 12-inch
pizza. I'm sorry, I forgot. He actually measured it.
I did measure it.
And then we actually hit Izumi's because we did the hibachi the last night.
Yeah, and that was hilarious. You guys will have to watch the vlog for that. It's always in the delivery because the jokes are the same. It's your chef and how does the delivery happen. And I don't know if any of you, I'm going to show my 80s now, have watched Revenge of the Nerds or Revenge of the Nerds Part 2. But that like donkey laugh that they do in there was his laugh. So as he was telling these jokes, he'd do that and then flawlessly start the donkey laugh. And it was hilarious.
Yeah. And one other place that was on here that we enjoyed was 150 Park Central.
Central Park. I get it backwards all the time. Every time I do it.
I even wrote it down right and I said it wrong. And there's a Playmakers also on here. We actually did not eat at Playmakers, but we skipped dessert at one of the other specialties and went to Playmakers to have dessert.
Yeah. So we did Azumi's, and then we skipped dessert at Azumi's, which would have been Mochi ice cream is what we would have gotten. And we popped over to Playmakers, and I got a touchdown sundae, and Mel got the campfire cookie.
Mm-hmm. That's my favorite.
So,
but overall, the food was great. The service was great. The speed of the service was great. I had no complaints. Definitely. I'm actually amazed with that many people on the ship how quickly they moved the food.
Yeah. And we'll go into more details when we're with Tinkerbell because I know she really wants to hear about the railway. But needless to say, before we went on the cruise, we heard a lot of feedback that the food was, not good and left a lot to be desired. Honestly, I thought the food there was very good, very tasty. I thought it came out fast. It was hot if it was supposed to be hot, cold if it was supposed to be cold. One of the things that might have led towards the overall reactions is the cost. So again, we'll go into more details. We'll go on the
cost to see. We'll weigh the value of the cost.
Yeah, but the food specifically was good on the railway as well.
Right.
Scott!
Hello, Scott.
Thanks for coming in, Scott.
So, again, all the food was good. The service was good. I actually have bar recommendations because we hit almost all the bars we didn't go over our diamond drinks.
No, we didn't. We did not go over our diamond drinks, but we wanted to go, try a few at each one because the Utopia has one that I've only seen one other place, and that was on the Mariner. It's called the Pesky Parrot.
Mm-hmm.
So we definitely had some fun there.
So I did a recommendation for each bar. So if anybody needs a bar recommendation, I have those.
Like the View,
yes.
We really liked, which is the up on the pool deck that overlooks the side, the View bar or the View.
That's a good place to go see Sail Away, by the way.
Yeah. But that one, we had the Caribbean Mule, which was really good.
Yeah. And then when we went to the Trellis Bar, which is in the
Central Park.
Sorry, my mind's not working. I had this Strawberry Blondie, which was pretty good. And you had I didn't write it down.
Oh, I had the
It was blue though.
It was basically a Cosmopolitan, but a Curacao Cosmo because they used blue Curacao in it with the vodka.
Right, and so we even put down specialty drinks for each of the specialty restaurants too.
Yeah.
For example, in Azumi's, the geisha.
Oh, she's a geisha.
Geisha. Okay.
That's a good one too.
A good one.
And most of ours, we tend to go towards the sweeter drinks. So most of our recommendations are going to be like the cocktails and not the straight up sours.
Right. So I want to jump back to the entertainment real quick. The entertainment we saw was they have the ice skating ring. So we saw the show, and Ryan says that he swears this is the best show we've seen.
Yeah. I mean,
it was themed around, again, 80s.
80s. It was an 80s theme, but it's, the production was really good, but not only that, it wasn't just the production and the music that I liked, but the execution and the actual, aerobatics that they were doing, because you're on a cruise ship at sea. So you generally will have one or two lead skaters that do a couple of jumps, but then the rest of the crew is just doing more body work, if you will. But almost every skater was doing double or triple axles on a cruise ship, you know, so on a small arena. And it was flawless, not a single fall, you know, just everything was very, very good. And then they changed it up midway through with that balancing guy that came out and stacked all these chairs up, one on top of the other. And
they looked like they knew what they were doing. They were hitting everything right on target.
Yeah.
So the theater show you kind of briefly talked about, they're using all in.
Yeah, the all in.
They were using the drones again.
Yep.
Which was a cool feature. You got to talk a minute.
Yeah, I got to talk for a minute. But yeah, so what they ended up doing was, if you've been on the Wonder or seen the show with the superheroes, I forgot what they call them again.
The Avengers.
Not the Avengers. The Effectors. The Effectors. It had a similar setup to that one where they brought the drones out and the drones lit up different colors. And so that's all flying out over the audience, and they're doing these intricate patterns with this light, flickering off of that. So,
I like the use of the technology. It's pretty cool.
And they also had some of the lasers going on and things like that. So just the overall production. And this one wasn't a Broadway show. I mean, a Broadway style show, yes, but it wasn't like Grease or Hairspray or Back to the Future that's coming out on the Star next year. It was their own production, but it was really good. It really was.
I also want to mention in the theater that the seats are comfortable.
Yes. When I was on the Wonder, I felt not only narrow this way, but it felt like I was sitting on the ground, so much so that my legs started to hurt because of how bent my knees were. These were, much higher off the ground for us, more robust gentlemen to be able to sit, and taller people. So
yes, it was more comfortable seats, and you had the tiny little cup holders that hold really small glasses.
Yeah, that's still in the main theater.
But and the last show that we haven't talked about is the Aqua Show.
Yes.
So this is the only show that I thought I liked better on the Wonder. And I'll let you explain why.
Yeah. Not anything to do with the execution of it, because it was an 80s theme. So, again, 80s is our jam. I love the mix, male to female on the Utopia as well. Different tricks, different, things going on. A lot more, diving on the Utopia versus the Wonder. But I think what it boiled down to was just the way the music and the diving moved us, I guess is the best way to say it.
I like the intensity of the other one.
The other one was, again, Wonder was designed for the Asian market. So it was a, Japanese Asian style show, and just the drive and the intensity and just the pulse of that show just really spoke to us.
Yeah, it was just a preference, but there was nothing wrong with that Aqua Show.
No, I'd go to it.
It was good. So these people are unbelievable what they do. They're diving on the back of a cruise ship, basically, in this tiny little beady pool.
Yeah. Oh, Eddie's here. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Yo, yo, yo. Thanks for coming in, Eddie. So, I thought the shows were all good. And again, the Aqua Show was great, and I would see it again and again and again. Just preference-wise, as far as the feel for me, I kind of like the Wonder Intense better than the Aqua Show on the Utopia if I had to put them side by side.
Right. So I mean, overall, let's see what other comments I got here. Oh, another random thought. The artwork on the ship. Ryan and I would walk random hallways just to look at artwork, and especially when we were walking and doing the tour of the ship, we came across some of the weirdest, and I wish I could show you my.
Most ships have a theme, and all artwork is around that theme. The theme for the Utopia seems to be that just nothing follows a theme, because on one staircase you see pictures of red napkins. On another staircase,
it was green.
You see a green tablecloth. On another one, you see a blurry picture, but a sharp view of a seagull.
There's one.
Yeah.
That one was hilarious.
On other ones, you see people swimming in a pool and a superimposed bird over top of it. Or you see the picture of an orca.
Invasion.
Yeah, alien. People are swimming in a pool and aliens are abducting them. Or
there was no rhyme or reason. It's just
it was just weird.
It was very weird.
But they were funny and they were cute. So memorable, obviously.
I don't know. It just seems like they had a contest of coming up with the weirdest artwork and then plaster it on the walls.
Yep. So, so that brought that up. As far as staff was going, again, staff was all great. Everyone we interacted with was wonderful.
We did laser tag too.
Oh yeah, we did do laser tag.
And Ryan and I were on separate teams this time.
I know, right? But although my team lost by 100 points, I was the most accurate shooter, and I had the highest score of everybody on there. So
whatever. Anyway, but yeah, we overall, I definitely would like to do this ship again if we get a chance. With that being said, I guess we have to wrap up our thing. But
yeah, I'm going to wrap up the.
So, what is your opinion about a bigger ship versus a smaller ship? Your opinion? I know I put you on the spot.
Honestly, I would say that I prefer a mid-size. I'd like to, because something as small as, for instance, the Paradise or the Grandeur doesn't really have enough of a variety. But Utopia, Icon, those bigger ones seem to have in some cases, a little too much going on for you to wrap your head around. So I kind of like the Independence of the Sea, kind of size. So it's not really a mega ship, but it's close to a mega ship.
All right. My answer is option C. I'd rather just be on a ship. I don't care what ship. I'm on a ship. That's it.
Yep.
I find the good in everything.
Yep.
And I like to stay active anyway. So sometimes I liked enjoying the bunch of stuff, minus all the kids and stuff.
Yeah, there were a lot of kids.
There was a lot of kids for a weekday cruise.
Yeah, not to the level of annoyance, because I didn't hear too many yelling and screaming, but it was noticeable the amount of kids on the ship.
Right.
So, all right. So closing out the poll here, we had 44% say that yes, bigger is the new norm. 33% don't care. They're with Mel. Just as long as you're on a ship, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
And we had 22% basically say, you know what, just give me the small ship. I like the small ship.
So hopefully the cruise lines are going to listen to us and keep smaller and bigger ships for us, and not just try to shove as many people as you can into one boat, so you can get the most profit.
Yep. All right. Well, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this up, because I know Controversial Cruising's got his thing that started about 5 minutes ago. So go ahead and head on over, give them a PKAT raid. Thank you guys again for stopping by tonight. We'll be back again next Wednesday. I'm not sure what we'll talk about yet, but we'll figure out something. So, and hopefully, again, if you guys want to see the ship tour, come hang out with us. 6 o'clock Friday Eastern time, and we're going to have the Utopia of the Seas. So,
all right, goodbye, everybody.
Yeah. All right, night, everybody.